All right, we are taking a look at the Midas mindset, and I'm joined by, is this the entire development team here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I guess we're just going to go in order of username. So we've got, just as I call out your name, if you can talk a little bit about your game development background and your role on this project. So I guess starting with Ozzy.
The fucking. Sorry, I choke up when people put me on a spot.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a hobbyist game developer. I do lots of varying half-finished projects on my YouTube channel and Twitter. My role in this game was I'm kind of the secondary developer. I helped polish out a lot of the ideas and the more rough parts of the game, and I'm the one responsible for the haggling minigame.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. And next up, we've got, is it Juana?
Buana, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So can you talk a little bit about your game development background and your role on this project?
I'm more of a artist and animator, and on this project I did the little title screen thing, some of the music, and some of the assets.
Okay, thank you. And Tomato.
So for this, I was kind of the lead. I did most of the level design and the player controller and all like the main core mechanics, and then it just got handed off to Ozzy to polish it out and make it work together. I took like 1 year of level 3 game design and then just dropped out to make my own indie stuff and random projects.
All right, nice. Thank you, everybody, for going through that. So we'll get started with the next question here then. What was the inspiration behind this game?
So I think it was literally the first idea we had. We were just like, hey, what if you were in like a roguelike game, but instead you played as the shopkeep and your entire goal was to just try and keep up with the player in the back rooms, try and like get to the next shop before they show up.
Oh,
Questionable
so kind of like
execution.
Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, kind of. You're the one. You're that one shopkeeper that shows up in every level somehow. You have to, except in the game, you have to get to them.
Got it. Okay, I see what you mean by the game volume being a little loud, so I'm just going to turn that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's mainly just a 3D platformer. The idea behind like the prompt mostly went into the story. We didn't really execute it in the game very well, but I don't think it matters. More of a starting point.
Okay, sorry. Okay, shift to dash, control to slide.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my brain around the controls and figure out how to advance.
If you've played Ultra Kill, the movement's very similar to that.
I have not.
That's
So
fine.
it's a platformer. I think the red tiles on the wall are supposed to try and guide you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
As well as green torches. They're kind of an indicator of where you're meant to go.
Okay, I can see some barrels that look like I can climb up on these. Okay, and then...
So if you, by the way, for context, if you hit enter, there's more tutorial at the top of the screen that you can read through.
Okay. Enter to continue. Dashes recharge. Visible as the crosshair changes. Okay. Dash, then jump to go a lot further. Okay. Wall jumps preserve momentum. Oh, okay, so there's wall jumps as well. Okay. So, dash jump.
When I did my first Game Jam game, you're not the best at platformers. And we chose to do another one.
I think I'm just thrown for a bit of a loop because I don't know what the capabilities of my character are just yet. So I don't know, like, what is a jump that I can make. So I'm assuming...
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so I can do wall jumps like that, but this is still a dead end. Oh, okay, hang on. I think I've got an idea. Oh my god, okay, that almost worked, and then I fell to the floor. Okay, I think there is... we went from a little bit from like 0 to 100 here in terms of the kind of platforming that you're doing.
So, because the game's movement is inspired by a game that both me and Tomato have played like extensively. This game has a pretty bad developer difficulty problem. Which we didn't
Especially-
yeah. It didn't help that when we were doing playtesting of the game, all of our playtesters were asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do understand the idea of what I'm supposed to do. I'm definitely not necessarily going to be able to execute on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think for the most part, I obviously made a game jam game 2 years ago. It was for 2021, and it's like the only thing I've finished aside from college projects. I feel like we did a better job this year of trying to ease the player in, because I don't know if you remember the last project, but there was no fairness. If you died, you went back to the start of the game. There was no coyote time. Just
It was like on another page or something about a book, like just a really
Yeah.
hard 2D platformer.
yeah, reading ahead.
Reading ahead. Okay. Yes, I do. I do remember it being quite difficult. Whoop. Yeah, but I think that that's the only thing that's really missing here is the idea of having a more like gentle intro to the game that gets you a bit more familiar with your jump distances and some of the more complex mechanics like the wall jumping.
Yeah, I think majority of day one was spent making the player controller work and make all the movement feeling solid.
Mhm.
And then we just went straight into level design, and obviously because we understood everything about the player controller and how it worked, it just went from 0 to incredibly difficult immediately.
Yeah.
And there's no checkpoints, huh?
There are. It's just you do the first level, you get the checkpoint at the start of the second one.
Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Well, I hope
Obviously-
everybody enjoys seeing like the first few seconds of this game over and over again, because that's all I'm gonna be able to achieve.
Post jam, we are putting a lot of effort into developing the game to be more approachable to new players.
Yeah, we also did know, like, one person we gave the game to did say you should probably add checkpoints, but even then, they put 15 minutes into the game and completed the whole thing. And I feel like that's relatively good playtime, especially for a game jam game, so we just didn't feel like the checkpoints would have made it too easy to complete the whole thing in, like, no time at all.
Well, I mean, I fundamentally, I'm more of the mindset that 5 minutes is a good length for a game jam experience, and this is just kind of a fundamental difference in philosophy of how I place
Yeah.
checkpoints in games. But I would say that having to make me do this whole room again is where I would have put a checkpoint. Like, by the time I have to make the jump over the instant death thing, like, put that at the start of the level so that if I fail, then I can just try it all over again. Because that actually teaches you more about how the dash jump works than this entire, like, room platforming section.
Yeah. I think this does also just stem from the developer difficulty, because we, when playing this game, complete this room in like 10 seconds and then just instantly dash across the entire gap and finish the level in like 20.
Yeah.
But
So
like
it-
this isn't a thing, it's like done in a blink of an eye. So rationalizing that doing the start again takes a lot of time just didn't occur to us until the game was already on its
Yeah.
tire.
And then again, if you fail that jump, you fall all the way back down and have to do everything all over again. Like, oh, okay, at least not the very bottom of the screen, but so. Oh my god.
the game could have definitely benefited from being able to playtest the game more thoroughly with people of a more varied skill set with this kind of game,
Yeah.
rather than us playing it. Go, yep, this seems good. Next level.
I mean, is this what you mentioned Ultra Kill as like gameplay similar? Is this essentially like you are fans of Ultra Kill, you've beaten the whole game, so you want to build a character controller that behaves like that, and you're kind of jumping into endgame content for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we like the character controller, so we wanted to make something that feels the same. There's quite a few fundamental differences, but we just like the fast-paced movement of it. So this was just a... It's not really meant to be a platformer in sense. Like, in the later levels, we have some turrets, enemies, and we're gonna have like a weapon system and like enemies in a final version of this we make. But just as like a test to get it down on paper, because we had like a good prompt for it, this is just like a platformer with the player controller we like.
How does the dash jump work? Because you have to be like holding forward, then tap jump, then hit dash.
Yeah, so you dash forward and then immediately jump
in the air.
Yeah. So you walk forward, you dash, and then while dashing, you press space.
Okay,
and you'll
so it's
go further.
walk dash space. Okay. Because that's kind of the problem, is that I haven't had the opportunity to practice that motion, and then I'm suddenly expected to do it without dying, and it's
you're put in a situation where if you mess it up, you just immediately die. There is another way over that gap. If you just dash and then jump, like wall jump 3 times, you can make it across. But
I thought that might work, but I was like, I don't know if I can wall jump that many times. So,
well, the wall jumps preserve momentum. So if you're going parallel to a wall, you can still wall jump off of it and keep going forwards.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I think these are just like techniques that I wouldn't have necessarily expected unless I was very familiar with the character controller.
Which is, again, I think it's the easiest problem to make when making a game, is just you understand everything, so you don't put in a tutorial.
Yeah. The game's not cool. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I mean, like I said, I'm here to show off the game, not necessarily here to finish it. So, can you talk a little bit about the development process for the game?
So, like I mentioned before, we literally put down a plane in Unity and then made everything about the character controller work. It just in the test scene with like cubes and stuff. And then once that was done, straight to level design, and this was all just built using like Unity default cubes.
Right.
So yeah, we put a lot of the effort went into the movement system and kind of the graphical styling of the game, and then
I'm
we
so sorry.
focused more on actually having a coherent like level design. And when we normally work on projects as a group, it's normally just what if we made a thing that worked like this? So we'll make a character controller, and then we'll come up with some new inspiration and go work on something else. So while working on this, I particularly came across the dilemma of how do I design a level? We've never got this far before. And so my immediate thought was to boot up Minecraft and block it out there.
Yeah, a big problem we as a group have run into is we all have varying amounts of issues mentally. So when it comes to getting past the point of I've made a player controller, we all get just stumped, and that's where all the game development ends. So the only reason I really wanted to do a game jam and to get my friends to help me with it is it's a way to just finish a game. It was less about following the prompt to a T and more about just getting something that we can call complete out. And I think we did that. We did something we all like and enjoy, and we can call complete.
Well, I think that's the most important thing, is that you end up with a project that you're happy with at the end of the day. My suffering be damned.
I'm so sorry.
I just can't do it. The dash jump, like, I made a 2D game that has that same sort of dash jump mechanic where you just press both buttons simultaneously. But for some reason, the mechanism of, I should say one difference in my game is you don't even have to be holding to the right. You can just hit dash and the character will do a dash jump. So something about the, like, you have to be moving forward, then hit dash, then hit jump. It just does not compute without a lot more practice. So
yeah,
that's not a bad shot actually. I probably should have made the default dash direction just forwards rather than not work.
I mean, I can only imagine how immensely satisfying this character controller must be when you have a good handle on it. But as it stands right now, it's just like, why don't you work, you silly thing? Just do the thing I want, go in the direction I want.
Yeah.
I think the record currently for completing all 3 levels is 90 seconds.
Oh, I
Yeah,
believe it. And yet here we are.
Yeah. I think that's possibly the one problem with having 48 hours to make a game, but we decide to use a controller system based on a game we both had collectively hundreds of hours in.
Yeah.
No,
So we're both really used to how the game plays, but no one else has the chance to be.
You did it.
I did it.
Success.
You did it!
So
I'm
this is
so
the checkpoint
sorry
now. This
for,
is
like-
the second level.
I'm
Okay,
so sorry for making a game you
Time
couldn't
to
complete,
break.
coming back 2 years later and then making a game you couldn't complete.
Oh, it comes with the territory. So, and then this is that's the haggling minigame that you were talking about,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you're trying
So-
to.
The idea is that guy is the player who you have
Yeah.
to like keep up with. There was originally the game was originally more difficult. There was originally going to be a timer that would run down, and if you ran out of time, the level just restarted. But we decided that might be a little bit harsh.
There's turrets now.
There's turrets now. I noticed. It's like, oh, there's something that kills me now this time. But it looks like I can't go that way. So, I'm assuming the way forward is calling my attention to the red panels. Much appreciate. Oh, I just ate
It's
that
the
one.
red panels and the green lights is where you're supposed to be like
Yeah.
paying your attention to. I don't know if that's gotten across very well in the actual game, but
Yeah.
I think it works once you know it.
As we say, we don't normally get very many opportunities to do actual level design.
Yeah, it usually ends at this is how the player works.
Yeah.
I was going to mention really quickly, I've had precisely one opportunity to do 3D level design before, and what I did was, do you know the free tool Magica Voxel?
I don't.
No, I don't.
Let me see if I can actually pull this up. Magica Voxel. So it's a free voxel editing program where you can, like, create voxel artwork.
Oh.
So it's pretty neat, and I'm just I don't know, maybe this might be a fresh install of the program, because I don't know if I can't see any of my files. Oh no, hang on, that's the built-in stuff. No, okay, I can't necessarily show it off, but like I hope it's kind of evident how you could use a program like this to do 3D level design, because you could kind of carve a block, you could kind of draw on like, I don't remember how the program works. Obviously, it's been a while since I've used it, but you can make it so that you can sort of paint like one block at a time. Okay, nothing I'm clicking is doing anything because I just don't remember how the program works. But yeah, it's a free program, and you can definitely use it to mock up stuff like that. So
That's really useful, yeah.
Me and Ozzy both come from like a place where we make a lot of roguelikes, or
Yeah.
at least we try to. So the level design system I fell into when making these ones that I found worked for me
Mhm.
was to just make small building blocks to use later on. Like, I made like a bunch of prefabs for just small sections of things, and even just like basically just models out of default Unity cubes. But
right.
I landed on the idea that if you just make a bunch of small pieces that can stitch together in a way that works,
Mhm.
that's much easier than making one big thing.
Absolutely, yeah, because you just sort of design it encounter by encounter.
Hmm.
I'm kind of at a loss. I'm supposed to drop below this and then
Wall jump back up, yeah.
Please, 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 please. Why did I not wall jump anymore? Is there a limit to the number?
There's a limit of 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can only wall jump 3 times before hitting the ground again. Dashes, however, will always recharge no matter what.
Okay.
So a lot of the large gaps in the game, like the big open spaces, you can get across just by spamming dash.
Gotcha.
Like, you can stay up pretty consistently if you had infinite wall jumps, which is why there's not infinite wall jumps.
I do remember it being in the tutorial now that you mention it. I just it would be nice if there was a UI indicator for wall jumps the same way there is for dashes.
That's true, actually. That's a good.
Not a
idea.
bad show.
Yeah.
We are planning on making a final version of this that has
Yeah.
all the features. We planned a lot of features that would have been cool for this type of game, but we couldn't do in the game jam time limit.
Of course.
It was
So
originally
it-
going to have stealth segments.
Yeah. So
What sort of segment? Sorry.
stealth.
segments.
Oh no.
So in the final, the haggling mechanic's also going to have a purpose.
Mhm.
because right now you just haggle for money and then keep playing. But you can just not get any money, and at the end you just get told, "Hey, you got 30 coins," and that's it. But in the final, you're going to have a gun, and the ammo is going to be the coins you get from the player.
Okay.
So haggling gives you more ammo to use in the level.
Interesting. I mean, I can only imagine a game as complex as this with, like, shooting added on top of it.
That's ultra kill.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that I would probably not enjoy Ultra Kill very much.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I've seen video footage of Ultra Kill. Oh no, not again. There's a guy who does really funny video cut-ups called Maxor, and so Ultra Kill incorrectly summarized part 1. Parts 1 and 2, I believe. So I've seen gameplay of it, and it's like, wow, that's... Oh, I got shot. I've seen gameplay of it, and it's like, wow, that is a style. This commits to it super hardcore, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think the type of game's for everyone. And obviously, in the final, it will have more easily accessible difficulty sliders. So if you want checkpoints, you'll have checkpoints. If you don't, you won't.
Yeah, I think
it's just for a game jam time limit. We just did what we could and then got out.
Oh, of course. I think it's fundamentally just a matter of I'm not crazy about first-person platformers to begin with, so I'm doing my best here, but
that's fair.
It'll be a triumph if I can get past the... Okay, wow, this did not really give you any time to catch your breath.
Yeah, I don't know if this was the right time for the first blue turret.
No. Well, God, wait for the green turrets.
I don't think they're gonna get the green turrets.
I don't think we're not seeing those green turrets. So can you talk a little bit about? Sorry, did I ask the question about what was the most difficult problem you encountered during the jam, and what was your solution? Was it the level design in Minecraft? Or?
I did actually think about this because you have the questions listed, and I did some thought.
Yes.
I don't know. There was no real big problem. It was just a lot of small things adding up. I think the funniest answer is the shop in the first level kept triggering twice, and we kept looking at the code. We changed it 80 times, trying to figure out what's going on. We spent hours on it. There were just two shop items in the Midas room. So the first one would do the shop minigame, and then the second one would just also do the shop minigame. That took us ages to figure out. But I think the actual answer would probably just be the green turret. Because it wasn't long to solve, but what it does is it predicts where the player's going and shoots there.
Yeah.
So you need to change your direction a lot to avoid it.
Oh my god.
But the math behind that's stupid, and Ozzy just pulled it out of thin air.
The math, the way I got to the math that the turret ended up using was, I remembered the same formula used by military anti-missile guns.
Oh my god.
And so it uses that.
That's the code we use. So, I see what's happening here. You're bumping the torch.
Yeah,
the torches have colliders that you refuse to get rid of.
They're a viable mechanic. You can jump off the torches.
Be able to.
Yeah. I think the game absolutely needs a more gradual introduction of the difficulty, rather than, here's the game.
I mean, I think that the idea you had of like adjustable difficulty would be really great, because if I could do this section without stuff shooting at me, if I could do this section with like more wall jumps or something, I'm not making this.
Absolutely.
Oh, because I feel like individual parts of this I can do, and that would kind of be that's my checkpoint philosophy, is like, let me do one thing at a time and don't make me repeat stuff I've already done before, unless it's supposed to teach me something that I like as a fundamental skill that I need to apply later.
I love someone in chat just saying, why do you have access to a military anti-missile formula?
You don't need to know about that.
It's a very good question.
Don't worry about it, just don't think about it, it'll be fine.
Don't question why the developers of this random indie game have that information.
I mean, I've in a 2D space, I've written that kind of code where it's like it predicts. It's basically trigonometry to predict the velocity of the thing that you're aiming at, the current speed that it's moving in, the prediction of like the distance that it has to travel, and then you just kind of create a triangle solve for that.
The only issues with taking it to 3D are like gravity and acceleration, all that just become a bit more complicated.
Yes.
It's super easy to get the force to shoot something at to meet at a certain point. It's really hard to get where the point is to meet at with a given force.
Yes. I mean, so do the cannons just shoot in a straight line, or do they have a fall off?
They just shoot in a straight line.
Okay, but you're talking about the application of gravity and such to the player controller?
Yeah, so that's genuinely our solution. If the player is airborne, the bullet just gets gravity.
Only for the green cannon, though. But because there's no drag on any of these objects in the game, when players airborne and the green cannon gives gravity to its bullets, the bullets fall at the same speed as you, and thus they almost always are able to track onto you if you don't change your direction.
So we basically just cheesed the solution because we were limited on time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, as you said, I'm probably not even going to see the green turret, but we'll move on to our next question then. So, you already sort of mentioned like a couple of the features that you had planned for the game, but is there anything else you haven't touched upon yet?
Ooh,
Other than
so
mobile enemies.
other than like more diverse enemies and obstacles and stuff, there are soft plans in place to make 2 modes for the final. Story mode, which is the same as this with handcrafted levels and like an intent behind it, and then endless, which is like I'll have multiple parts of a level that can be stitched together, and it will just randomly generate an infinite amount of map for you to get past.
Oh no.
See, with large gaps like that, you don't need to stick to a wall. You can just dash through the air over and over, because the dashes will recharge without you even touching anything.
You're
I
saying
didn't
that
know if
you
that would
can't
give me
do
enough
that.
velocity. Like, I didn't. It's such a far distance in my mind. I just don't know the character controller well enough to know that I would be able to make that.
Ozzy's saying that. I'm pretty sure you can't get across that gap if you don't wall jump.
Maybe a couple times.
One quirk of the character controller is if you're holding forward in the air and you're going very fast, it will slow you down and bring you to normal moving speed.
Wait, what?
So again, it's based after Ultra Kill, and in Ultra Kill you can do stupid
true.
stuff like grenade boosting to give yourself like Mach 10 speed. But in that game, moving through the air has a speed cap, so if you move through the air, it brings you back down to the speed cap. So this game just does that as well, which means if you dash really fast like you did, and you got a really good wall jump, you were still holding forwards, so you just slowed down to like a snail's pace, and you lost all your momentum.
Oh wait, but I thought you had to hold forward in order to dash.
You do, but only to start the dash.
So you have to let go of forward?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
It's the one
Like,
flaw.
Developer difficulty.
But again, you're saying that Ultra Kill does that as well, right? So
Yeah. Ultra Kill's player control is also way more refined than this one as well, though.
Yeah, it's way more robust and consistent and
Ultra Kill's
easier.
not a jam game though, so I think you can give yourselves that.
Yeah. For something made in the time it was, I think it's
it was
not
actually-
terrible.
I think it was completed in 30 hours. 48. So
No, okay. Maybe it's possible to make that, but not unless you're a more skilled player. Jeez.
That might
Okay,
actually
well,
be
I hope
possible.
everyone
I'll have to try
enjoyed
that.
seeing level 1. How many levels are there?
there's
only
3, you're on 2.
There's okay, yeah. Well, I got like what 75% of the way through level 2.
Yeah. That's not
You
bad.
got to like the last jump. It's not bad.
Okay.
You
okay.
got-
It's better than reading ahead.
Yeah, this is something that I could see myself maybe attempting if there was like insane, like if you contract me to do the checkpoints for your easy mode, then I will play through the game.
Make the whole game. We'll just come to you. You place down some checkpoints. Solid.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like if you want, we would be more than happy to advise on that.
I might take you up on that.
We'll see. But yeah, so People's got to try this out for themselves. I see Dark Demon Gamer beat it in 6 minutes. I mean, what can I say? Good for you. I'm terrible at this. You're definitely much better at first-person platforming. So, any other projects or social media channels that you'd like to plug before we wrap things up?
Ozzy, you got anything?
I've got a YouTube channel and a Twitter, both under Aussie Bozza, where I do game stuff as well as just really strange cryptic things that I'm not going to explain to anyone.
And I guess the only real place you can find me is on YouTube, at Sleepy Tomato with a B. I just upload music.
Feel free to drop links to anything that you're talking about in chat as well.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, do that.
Put my website in there as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That should work. Ozzy has a fan now. But no, I'm proud of what we did. Everyone involved and everyone close to the team finds it quite addictive in a way.
Yeah, it's really fun once you get a hang of the mechanics.
It's fun. It's fun once you suffer the death of your ego.
Absolutely. So when you make the wall jumps in this final room here, are you jumping like back and forth between the walls?
No, so I walk to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
I dash forward and jump to get the extra boost, and then I let go of all of my movement keys, do one wall jump, and then I'm set the whole way.
Yeah.
What I do is I use height and gravity to
I might dash.
advantage. Yeah, I jump, dash twice, and then I jump off the wall a couple times.
I think it's I just does not compute. I can't figure out how to do it.
I think you're holding the movement key into the wall. When you press dash, you're dashing into the wall, which is cancelling your momentum.
I am. I'm definitely because you said let go of your movement keys. I'm like, okay, but I still need to hold to the right, and I don't.
Yeah.
So if you want the tip for a random indie game, if you use your mouse to point toward the wall with the forward direction, you can get more of your dash rather than dashing into the wall.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I understand conceptually what you're saying. I don't know if I can hand-eye coordination is good enough to make my body do that.
That's fair.
That's perfectly
but yeah, I
fair.
mean, this is exactly the same thing as the game that I made. I think that if you made something in the scope of a 48-hour game jam that you yourself enjoy, that is a win.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different reasons for coming into a game jam, and I think that is a very, very good reason to come into it. You should definitely be proud of what you made here. It's very well polished, perfect for those who are looking for this kind of experience. And then there's me, who is just like struggling hardcore with the controls involved.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for making you play this exact game but twice.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for coming on the stream and having this conversation.
No,
it's been a lot of fun. Difficult as hell, but clearly very well put together. And yeah, I would definitely be happy to give some suggestions and advice on easing players into a difficulty experience like this one, because I think it's not even a matter of it's not relenting on any of the difficulty that's here. It's just building up the skills necessary to perform it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see this experience brought forward to a broader audience. In fact, that's what I consider my games to do as well. Like Worlds Within Worlds, the platforming game that I am working on, is meant to be a game that is at its core, like if you ever see like the speedruns of this game, it's crazy to take a game that takes most people like 40 minutes to play and then see it beaten in 6 minutes, and the world record is like 5 minutes. So the idea is a fundamentally simple experience that anyone can play, but just with enough checkpoints to get them all through it. And then if you're a master, like it stands to reason that the top level play in this game, the way you're able to get the fastest times is to never die. So the entire game is built with this high level play in mind, but also giving anybody the ability to get from the start to the finish.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, again, I understand you're coming at this from a different, from like a... from already having developed the skills that went into mastering like the character controller.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I think the major flaw in why we couldn't see you needed checkpoints is just because if we ever died at any point in the level, we'd be back at that point in like 15 seconds flat.
right.
So it was never
Yeah.
clear to us that would take other players a while.
What is this doing, by the way? This sends adjustment.
So
it's,
sensitivity
uh,
is
Oh,
the
no
bottom one.
sensitivity. Okay.
Top one's FOV.
All right. I think that the default there actually was good. It wasn't like that of all things was not the problem I was having with the game.
See, Ozzy, my sensitivity's better.
Well, thank you so much all for coming on and answering these questions. It's been a time. All right.
Thank you for suffering through it as long as you did.
Sure thing. All right. Looking forward to what you work on next. And yeah, if you do end up making a post-gen version of this, I'd be happy to talk about that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'll
thanks.
send it if we do.
All right. Bye for now.
All right, see ya.